Good morning, another day. Let me start with giving an advice. Never ever trust the forecast. Forecast this morning was a lot of rain, so we thought, okay, I'm not gonna take the motorbike out because it's a lot of hassle, and let's go with the car and visit Sweden's biggest waterfall. So yes, yesterday I was wrong. Where we're staying at the campsite is not the biggest one. This one is the biggest one. With a decline of 30 meters? 37 meters to be correct. And I can hear the waterfall already. It seems to be a pretty one, so let's go. A disclaimer, I'm not a waterfall expert, not at all, but it is fantastic to see. Over there, lake. Another lake down there, and of course the waterfall itself. Another advice, do not fall in the water. I'm so happy that I can laugh about my own stupid jokes. I don't know what it is with waterfalls, but it always feels like so much force of nature, so much power. We should harness it. Look at all that water. It's amazing, isn't it? Especially for you guys, I'm gonna do something very dangerous. I'm not gonna jump, but it is spectacular, really. Of course we have to do some off-roading. Nah, it's not real off-roading, it's just a dirt road. If you're driving on these roads, it gives you the feeling of being completely in nature, far, far, far away from civilization. It just gives you this feeling of freedom. We're back at the camping site. It started to rain. So what I said this morning about bad predictions or forecasts in regards to the weather, it is correct, it is raining. It doesn't matter because I think it's cozy. This is how we cook. We're gonna make soup in a special pan. This is still the view, and yes, you can see it is raining. That sounds a bit strange, but I kind of like it. As I said earlier, it feels a bit cozy. I'm gonna go inside, put on the heater, have a drink, watch until the soup is ready, and then I think we'll call it a night very early. Go to sleep tomorrow morning, get up early, and then we're gonna drive to Norway again. Good morning, we already packed. We're on our way to Røros. The camping site was only 10 kilometers from it. It's a mining town, and I think it was founded somewhere in the 16th century, 1600 something. It's World Heritage Site from UNESCO. Again, I didn't hear about it, but yesterday we drove through it and we thought, hey, UNESCO, World Heritage. And our neighbor on the camping site, it's beautiful. So we decided to go there first. Walk around, do a little bit of sightseeing, then with 2 hours we're on our way to the national park. We are in Røros right now. Røros. But I don't know. These are the first houses. Everything is made from wood. It's an historic mining city. And let's have a look. Behind me, you see old houses from the workers, probably from the mine workers. And it's interesting what they did, because some of the houses they've been renovated. One house isn't renovated. The reason why they did it is just to see what the difference will be, because in the 1960s they already tried to restore it, and they did a pretty good job on the first houses, but just to see what the difference is. I find it interesting when they do that. But now the house is very bad shape and it needs to be restored. That's the old factory. What I find interesting is that everybody I thought that the mines would be nearby, but that's not the case. The mines are 12 kilometers from here. But the reason why they built the factory over here, the melting factory, because they found copper. To melt it, you need of course a factory, but you also need energy. And there's a river down there. And that's the reason why the village is over here and the mines are 12 kilometers from here. Nowadays it all looks very romantic, but I'm thinking to myself, it's 10 degrees, it's August. It seems one of the most coldest places in Norway, one of the 3 coldest cities in Norway. How would life be 200 years ago in this area. It took people almost a week to get to Trondheim from here with a horse and carriage. I think it's better to live in 2024. So probably you're thinking, why do you show us these two hills? Because it's the waste from the factory, from all these centuries that they're producing copper. I think because of the wind you can't hear it anymore. And here we have the church. There's a lot to tell about the church. I looked it up, most of it I can't remember precisely for a place like this. We've been traveling around in Norway now for a couple of weeks. And I haven't seen such an impressive church so far, only in Trondheim, Olaf's Cathedral. But this is also a very impressive one. Hey, look. So, we visited Røros. What can I say about the small village? It's way more interesting than I thought. Wooden houses, it feels like you're walking through a museum, but it's alive. People live here, people have lives, businesses. We are on our way from Røros to Odda, not to confuse it with Odda or Edda. If you've seen the Netflix series Ragnarok. That's also an interesting story, by the way, because the place Odda really exists. In the Netflix series they make it Edda, and there's even a monument, Netflix monument, a rock in the city center nearby the harbor. And that's the reason why we came to the series. But it's an interesting series, especially when you've been to Odda. Right now we are driving through the Asdalsdal fjord. Asdalsdal. Find it difficult to pronounce these names. Anyway, it's a beautiful area. It's amazing that you can drive through it. I'm trying to say something, but probably the wind is way too hard. This is such a stunning view. We're in the middle of the Asdal region. I'm not gonna try it anymore. And it is, what shall I say? Magnificent, beautiful, I don't know the words for it. But if you look around, nobody's there, just one car, and of us of course, and my wife of course. But for the rest, emptiness. Where do you find it in Europe? Okay, cows, what are we gonna do? We are making a beautiful trip with the motorbike. I looked on the map on yesterday, and from where we are on the camping site, we're gonna make a round trip. I think it's about 300 kilometers. We will go to Lillehammer today, and now we're at the lake. Never heard of the lake, but it's big, beautiful, it is quiet. These two cars that just passed are the two first cars that we encountered when we were on this road. So let's have a cup of tea and then let's continue. We arrived on the top, and this is very spectacular. Let's go to Kaupne. So I made an outdoor kitchen. This is my outdoor kitchen. This is the fireplace.